American 1443, 16,000.
American 1443, radar contact.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 1677, 16,000.
Southwest 1677, radar contact.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 3154, flight level 320.
Southwest 3154, radar contact.
Los Angeles Center, wingspan 4, flight level 240.
Wingspan 4, radar contact.
5 for Legion 642.
Alright, hello my friends. I think everything's working alright. I hope so. Sorry for the delay in getting started. I was finishing up getting the new camera working correctly. New 4K tracking camera. I think the tracking quality is way better than the C920 was. Oh look, already I have my Chinese spammers for Nejna in the chat, so hello Nejna, thank you. It's always good for the spammers to stop by, say hello. Anyway, today we're flying from technically Mesa, Arizona, kind of the suburbs of Phoenix, out to Houston, Texas, and we're flying in the Cessna Citation longitude, which is a nice, beautiful executive jet or business jet. It seats 12 in this configuration with two, I believe they're Pratt & Whitney 500 horsepower. I'm obviously looking that up.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 264, flight level 290.
No, they're Honeywell.
Southwest 264, radar contact.
7,600 foot-pounds of thrust. Or 7,600 pounds of thrust from two Honeywell HTF 7000 engines. So quite a lot of thrust here. Seats 12, plus me and my co-pilot, who, as we know in this plane, is invisible. And yeah, so we actually haven't done any of the pre-flight yet today. We have merely connected to external power, which in theory is that truck right there. Now I didn't call for external power, so it's not going to animate, but the plane will allow you to just turn external power on. And what that means is there are... Can I... Oh god. Am I able to get close enough that you can see it? There's a connector. Oh, I know it's too much for my poor GPU to handle. There's a connector in the plane up front there. You're gonna have to take my word for it. I can't get a good shot of it. there's a connector up there where you can connect a cable to power the plane while you're sitting still, and that's because the engines are off, and the engines are usually what powers the plane. So I mentioned that we'll learn a little bit about aviation in the course of our flight and everything. So we'll real quick go over. There's our exterior power button right there. As you can see, it's on, and our left and right battery also on. You want to have the batteries on while you're connected to exterior power, or everything freaks the fuck out. Now, first thing we have to do is what's called initialization. Well, actually, you know what? I've already done some things. I've turned on the avionics, and I've set the emergency LTS alarm, and some other things. Anyway, first thing we have to do is initialization, and in Flight Simulator, that's actually pretty easy. 5 passengers, 135 pounds each, if they wish. Takeoff. What did I think I ended up choosing like 7,200, but I can't remember exactly. Oh, so yeah, 7,200 pounds, 1,000 gallons. Cool. Landing, not going to worry about that. We'll burn right down. We'll be fine. Okay, so this is our flight plan. And what we're actually going to do is back up and use SimBrief, which is kind of like if you, in the modern day, a pilot would connect their iPad, or they'll have a data connection to, or a SD card to download this. So we'll pretend that's what I'm doing here. In reality, it's pulling it from a network service called SimBrief. Just edit that real quick, don't worry about that. Okay, departure, blah blah blah, okie dokie. So there we have our flight plan. Our departure and arrival procedures are already programmed in. We'll talk about that later. We go back to the initialization. So flight plan is automatically checked because we downloaded it or programmed it in, as the case may be. Now we do takeoff data. So it looks like we're going to get 12 right. So if you look at your GPS on the bottom right hand corner, there is 12 right there. 12R, 126 degrees magnetic. We'll need to remember that in a minute, so don't forget that. Remember that. So that's all good. Weather, we're going to load. Okay. So what that did there is basically we just loaded the wind from, again, that network connection I was telling you about that tells us what the wind is here at the airport, what the runway surface and temperature is. Runway, very good. Takeoff configuration. Now this shows us what our configuration is going to be. Flaps 1, no anti-ice. Reverser stowed. Full takeoff, no roll. Takeoff data. Alright, V1, which is kind of like the point of no return sort of thing. V-rotate is where we'll start to lift off the runway. V2 is a minimum speed before we're going to start putting up flaps and kind of leveling out and evening off. And then 185 is what we're aiming for. So accept our takeoff speeds. Initialization, as you can see, all 3 boxes are checked. We'll accept. And there we go. You can already see our flight plan is programmed into the computer. If we zoom out, you'll be able to see the whole thing. All the way over there to East Texas. We do aircraft up, which is why the United States is sort of upside down. That's fine. That's fine. You're allowed for the United States to be upside down. Excuse me. coughing and checking Twitter real quick. I'm an addict. I have to look over there and see what's what. So, we have our pre-flight mostly done. Our everything's programmed in there. Check and make sure speed bugs are enabled. What the speed bugs do is they add, you see these purple numbers and letters next to the speed box here, FTO 2R1. Those correspond to the V1, VR, V2 that we were talking about earlier. And those speeds will show up on the speedometer there, the airspeed indicator, as we get moving. So, no standby data, no takeoff, that's fine. Engine shut down, obviously parking brake on, bus tie closed, because exterior power's on. First thing we're going to do is, actually, we're going to do this in an interesting order, just to maximize the fuel that I don't burn. First thing we're going to do is tune into ATIS, which is the Automated Traffic Information Service. I'm sure that's quite loud now. What that does is it's a computerized radio system that comes over our radio. You see COM1 tuned to 133.5. There's the ATIS station here at Phoenix Mesa Gateway. And that tells us some information about the weather that we need, the time, what runways are active, the wind, and what's something called information, which is kind of proves to traffic control that we have checked the weather and we are paying attention. In this case, our information is Tango. So again, we'll need to remember that, and you should still be remembering the magnetic heading of our takeoff runway. So we have information Tango, clear sky, 33 degrees, dew point -2, altimeter 299.5. We need the altimeter.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Oh shit, hold on.
Wo 050 Zulu.
What was it? Oh, 299.5, that's right. Okay. So we set our barometer to 299.5. That makes sure our altitude is correct for takeoff. We got 7,200 pounds of fuel, good. Flaps up, stabilizer set, aileron and rudder are neutral. Battery voltage 28. Okay. TCAS, traffic awareness only, ADS-B, Air B, unrestricted, heading up. Traffic aware, very good. Alright, we're looking good. So we're on, we have information Tango, our barometer is set, and we're running on exterior power. So we're going to call clearance and ask them to clear us for our flight. Basically, they're going to look what our flight is, they have that information, and they're going to say, okay, the ATC network will start planning how you're going to go. You know, we're going to sequence you in order with other planes to get you off the ground, and then ATC will be aware of where you are to make sure that there's no air accidents or anything like that. So let's call and get our clearance real quick. Mesa Gateway clearance. This is Cessna C208 Romeo Alpha. Oh, I'm sorry. It's November 208 Romeo Alpha. We have information Tango on board, ready to copy for our IFR clearance to William P. Hobby. Whew. Forgot which plane I was in for a second there.
Stand by, your number 1. Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, gateway clearance, cleared to Hobby via the Catman 6 departure, then is filed, climb and maintain 5,000, expect flight level 45010 minutes after departure, departure on 124.9er squawk 3435, expect runway 12 right.
Alright, so we have to read that back to make sure he knows that we heard him correctly. You're supposed to be listening and remember everything he said. Cleared to Hobby via the Catman 6 departure, then is filed, climb and maintain 5,000, expecting flight level 45010 minutes after departure on frequency 24.9er, squawking 3435, expecting runway 12 right, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. So we'll go ahead and put that altitude he gave us in, 5,000.
8 Romeo Alpha, read back correct, contact ground on 128.25 when ready.
Ground on 128.25, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. You have to read back everything they say. Alright, so we have that altitude he gave us plugged in, our initial altitude, which
hey
is,
folks, welcome on our trip to William P. Hobby Airport.
Here's Emma.
I'm Emma, and I'll be looking after you today. Please take your seats and stow your hand luggage safely. If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you for flying with us.
Alright, that's Emma. She's the flight attendant on small jet flights. She's a very nice lady. She'll bring you anything you want. If you need anything, let me know in chat and I'll ask her for you. Literally, like anything. She's AI powered, so she's responds to natural language. Watch. I got to remember which button she is. Hey Emma, can you bring the customers a glass of bourbon while we're doing pre-flight?
Understood, Captain. I'll bring the bourbon to the guests now.
See, she responds to natural language. It's very cool. Anyway, so we have our clearance. We were told to contact ground on a certain station, and ground is going to do some other things here in a minute. Right now, I'm going to plug a few things in here. Excuse me. Just to make our life easier here in a second when we go to take off. And we'll start up the APU, which is the auxiliary power unit. That's that little switch down there. We can watch it start right there, bottom right hand corner. APU RPM percentage, exhaust gas temperature in Celsius. It's very hot, as you can see. And the APU is basically a little tiny jet engine that sits on top of the plane. And all it does is provide electricity while the plane is off. Because you don't want to run your battery down, and you don't always have exterior power available. So normally, in smarter planes, it would automatically. Oh, it did. See. So I'm talking shit without even really thinking about it. But yeah, so bus tie open. Because our APU's on now, we can turn off available power and it'll automatically close the bus tie. And we're all set there. We're running on our own power. Now what we're going to do is turn up the console brightness for my own sake. We're going to turn on some of our lights and the passenger safety chime because now there's a jet engine running. And we're going to turn on pulse and recognition.
Captain, I brought the bourbon to the guests and they're enjoying it. Everything is going smoothly.
Did you hear that? You guys are enjoying the bourbon. So thank Emma. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Emma. They appreciate the bourbon. Very good. So there's Emma with your bourbon. Thank her when you see her.
Thank you, Captain. I'm glad to hear that they appreciate it.
She sounds really emotionless. She used to sound better. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so APU is on. Lights are on. Passenger safety light is on. Panel brightness is up. Everything's good right this second. It's time to contact ground. And what we're going to tell ground is we have information Tango. Request permission to push back and start. And basically that's permission to start our engines. And airport personnel using that little yellow thing out there will push our plane back because it doesn't have a reverse gear. Damn it. So, no reverse gear, we got to get a pushback. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Mesa Gateway ground. We have information Tango on board. Request pushback and engine start.
Citation 8, Romeo Alpha. Pushback and engine start approved. Tail southeast.
Copy that. Pushback and engine start approved. Tail southeast. Thank you, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Alright, so that basically lets them plan. If you look at our GPS-o-meter out here, it lets them plan if there's anything coming by to be aware that I'm going to be pushed back here in a minute. If you hadn't guessed, I'm the yellow plane. For the most part, other planes are going to be AI. You will know a real plane because it will have more information available about it. Instead of just saying like Cessna, in this case, you look, it says passive aircraft C-140. Passive aircraft C-336. A real player aircraft, which they are around. That's not a real player. That's not a real player. That's not a real player. Okay. None right this. Well, maybe we'll check in. Nope. Okay. So no real players around right this second. No, that's fine. That's cool. No real players. So basically, we ask ground for permission to push back. They are aware that that's going to happen. Next, we contact what's called ramp, which is the frequency where we can talk to the guys who are outside. That guy standing there, we can't really see his truck, and the guy or girl who pushes that thing. So that's ramp frequency. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha Flight Deck 2 ramp. We are permission from ground for pushback and engine start, tail southeast.
Tuck on the way, connect and insert bypass pin.
Alright, so he's gonna wheel that thing on over here and connect it to my plane. And here in a second,
just let me know when you're ready to start the pushback.
he'll ask for confirmation. We undo our parking brake, and we radio back that we're ready for pushback. Flight deck to ramp, we are ready for pushback. Parking brake is disengaged.
Tuck standing by, pushback commencing.
Okay, tug standing by, pushback. There we go. Alright, so we're going to turn on this.
Ground to flight deck, cleared for engine start and sequence.
Whoops, not that. Taxi, and copy that, cleared for engine start in sequence.
William P. Hobby Airport. We expect to be in the air for about 1 hour and 55 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration.
Alright, so now our engines are starting.
Even for frequent flyers. Please fasten your seatbelt by inserting
We want
the metal
this
into the buckle,
N1
pulling the
percentage
strap
to
tighten.
reach about
Remember to
18
keep your
before we
seatbelt
start the
fastened
second engine.
whenever the sign is
And this is a fully automated engine
Please ensure
start,
your
so we don't have to
seatbelts
do
are
anything
upright and any loose items are secure.
in terms
Mobile
of
phones and
starter
electronic devices
or
must be set to flight
fuel
mode,
mode or
and
anything
larger
like that.
devices should be stowed during takeoff and landing.
Sorry, I'm talking over Emma's
Smoking
safety
and
warning.
the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited on board. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Life vests are located under your seat. Put it on and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes unusually warm or signs of damage, please inform me immediately. Safety is part of all details. Thank you for your attention.
Sorry. I'm going to have to mute myself in a minute and finish cough. Anyway, so that's our engine start. Hopefully you were paying attention there while Emma was talking. Start both engines to 18 and 1. Once they're good and started, we can turn the APU off. Is he done yet? Nope. Okay, we're still getting pushed back. Taking for fucking ever. But anyway, so we have the N1 percentage is kind of roughly like the efficiency percentage rating. How much of the total power capacity the plane is putting out. We have the internal turbine temperature right below that, which well and good. Fuel per hour, oil pressure, oil temperature, total fuel quantity, quantity in each wing. As you can tell, I'm going right down the list here. Flap position, gear position, stabilizer, and trim for aileron and rudder. elevation, cabin altitude. The cabin is pressurized, so it'll keep the altitude in here closer to ground level. Battery status and APU is off. And are we good?
Ground to flight deck, pushback complete. Please ensure parking brakes are set. Standing by for confirmation of good engine start and report when ready for disconnect.
Alright, our engine brakes are on. Parking brake on. Not engine brake, parking brake. Flight deck to ramp. Parking brakes are set, and we have good engine start. Thank you.
Roger. Disconnecting tug. Stand by for confirmation that ground crew is clear.
Alright, so, yep, there went the tug. It just kind of disappears.
Ground to flight deck, bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and cruise clear. You're good to go. See you soon.
Copy that. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the other side. Alright, so, that's our pushback and engine start. Engines are running. We're in position to get started. We go back to ground. And we tell them that we're all ready. Please guide us to the runway. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Mesa Gateway ground. We are ready to taxi to 12 right for takeoff.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Gateway Ground, runway 12 right taxi via Whiskey Golf.
Easy. Taxi 12 right via Whiskey Golf, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Actually, you know what, it's funny, I say easy, but none of these, that's not right, is it? That's fine. Actually, looks like it's... yeah. So we're gonna zoom skis out here real quick to see if the taxi guides didn't appear. That's cool. No big deal. So we're gonna turn off our parking brake. Oh, there they go.
Tug already disconnected.
I don't know why she's talking to me about the tug. New to me. Alright, and we're going. These nice little spheres here are to guide us to our takeoff, because as you heard, the taxi directions are not often correct. This is actually Foxtrot, not Golf. So I don't know what happened there. This isn't a taxi-tuned airport. Oh no, it is actually taxi-tuned. So yeah, I'm not sure what the hell happened here. Taxi-tuned means somebody who is familiar with the airport goes in and like confirms that the airport is laid out correctly.
Romeo Alpha, contact tower on 120.6. Bye bye.
Okay, so what we do now is they're telling us that we'll be talking to the control tower for the rest of our takeoff here. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Gateway Ground. Copy. Tower on 120.6. Sorry, I took that turn way too wide because I was watching the dots instead of the taxi lane. And I was changing the radio to 120.6. And what we do here is we pull up to the line up here, and we stop. We stop here in a second. And this is called holding short, because you're holding short of the runway. Put on our parking brake for a second. Our engines are completely idled down. We're going to turn on our landing lights and turn off our taxi light, and we're going to tell tower ready to go. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Gateway Tower. We are holding short, runway 12 right, ready for takeoff.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Gateway Tower, runway 12 right, winds 110 at 9er, gusting 17, RNAV eclipse, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12 right, winds 110 at 9, gusting 17, RNAV eclipse, cleared for takeoff, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Alright, so what that means is we're good to go. We're going to drop our flaps 1. As you remember, our takeoff is 1 degree. Hopefully you remember a few minutes ago I asked you to remember what the magnetic heading for our runway was. Now's an important time to remember that. Hopefully you correctly remember that it is 126. Thank you. Good job. I'm glad you remembered that. Otherwise we'd have a very bad time here in a minute. But because you remembered 126, we will take off safely. And actually, we're going to do the RNAV takeoff, which is going to be cool and a little crazy. Which is a guided takeoff. So, as soon as I get into a position here, generally you're going to want to not stop on the runway. We're going to switch it over to nav. No, actually, you know what? I lied. We're going to leave it on heading for a second. We're going to take off under heading, not the RNAV mode. Engines up. I'm not quite on the center of the runway because I was paying attention to something. I was looking at something else. Now, we're giving it a little bit of nose down throttle because this thing definitely likes to go up. But we give it a little bit of nose down. Up, 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 up. There we go. Gear up, autopilot on, and flaps up, and speed control, return to the computer, and we're off, just like that.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact departure.
What was departure? 1249. Copy. Departure on 1249, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Phoenix approach. We are with you at 5,000 feet, RNAV eclipse.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Phoenix departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 350, direct eclipse.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, direct eclipse, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. So he's telling us we're going to start going up, 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 higher, higher, higher here. That'll tell you. Basically what we do there is we set the new altitude with the altitude switch. As you see, I'm setting it up to, I think he said 350. And then we hit the flight level change button, and that starts us climbing. And direct eclipse is fine. We did the RNAV eclipse takeoff, so we are already heading direct eclipse, and that is literally that. That's it. That's a takeoff. There's a few more things to think about as we climb, but we'll get into that as we cross over 10,000 feet here in a minute.
Romeo Alpha, direct eclipse, then is filed, please.
Copy, direct eclipse, then is filed, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. I said that, I don't know why he didn't. I did say that.
Dear guests, the use of approved electronic devices is now permitted in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for flying with us.
Anyway, I don't know what that was about. Anyway, as we cross 10,000 feet, we shut off our landing lights and the seatbelt lights. I don't know why he called me direct eclipse. I am obviously heading direct to eclipse. And within 10 minutes of taking off, I expect for ATC to give us a call and tell us to go up to flight level 450. Now you'll notice that over 10,000 feet or 13,000 feet, depending on where you're at, they will give you altitude a little differently. Below, they'll say, 6,000 feet, as he did when we were getting our clearance. He said, initial altitude 5,000, expect flight level 450, 10 minutes. So over that altitude, you do altitude as a flight level. One more thing to explain: the barometer change that happens at 18,000 feet. But anyway, altitude.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Weird. Climb and maintain flight level 360. Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Anyway, altitude is given as a flight level, which is the first three numbers, or not the first three, but the 10,000, 1,000, and hundreds digit. So at 36,000 feet, it's flight level 360. So the barometer thing, you notice we set the barometer to 29 or 9 or 5 when we were on the ground, which sets our correct altitude. When you cross over 18,000 feet in the United States, it's, I don't know if it's 12,000 feet in Europe, I don't remember. But in the United States, when you cross 18,000 feet, you set to a standard barometer by clicking the barometer button. And that has the function that every plane, no matter where you took off from, who is like high up in the air, it has a mutually accurate altitude. It may not actually be what the barometer is at that exact
Citation 8
location.
Romeo Alpha, contact Albuquerque Center on 135.15.
Albuquerque Center on 135.15, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Have a good day. So as you fly, obviously, radio distance isn't infinite, and so here and there they'll tell you to go to a different station, which we'll do now. Change the radio, 135.15, and we introduce ourselves. We say hi. Albuquerque Center, this is Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. We are with you at flight level 260, climbing to flight level 360.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Albuquerque Center. Good afternoon.
And that's that. They just acknowledge that, hey, what's up? We got you. We're using a transponder that lets them know where we are. And function is, as we cross into their screen, we introduce ourselves, say hi, and they can associate a name or a call sign or registration number, a voice, and our location on their little screen.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, climb and maintain flight level 450.
And that's going to be our cruise altitude, so that's the last time we'll set altitude until we start to come down. Climb and maintain flight level 450, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Alright, so that is our cruise. Oh, sorry, I was reading something on X. Yeah, 450 is our cruise altitude. So as we're crossing 30,000 feet, or flight level 300, heading for 450, 45,000 feet. One thing to let you know is 45,000 feet is basically makes us the highest thing in the sky today. 450 is really high. It is, I'll put it this way, unless the military is flying something really cool, or there is a one of the brand new Dassault Falcons, or a G700, or the I forget what it's called, but the new Bombardier, they can all go up to 50,000 feet. Otherwise, we're the highest thing in the sky today. Not the fastest. Nothing around us. We are the fastest thing around us. But if we encounter any big airliners, we may find airliners that are moving a little bit quicker than us. Not a lot. I mean, we're doing 510 knots over the ground, 512, and that'll actually go up. As long as winds remain this favorable, actually, we might be the fastest thing in the sky, too. Depending on how winds are doing when we get to 45,000 feet, I'm expecting we might end up doing almost 560 knots over the ground. That would be cool, am I right? So yeah, we'll see. See how that goes. Oh look, my model's all messed up again. How do I fix that? Why does it keep going all stupid and crooked? Or is it just like that because I'm looking at my right monitor? I'm not sure. See, I feel like the calibrate button isn't working right. Like maybe they changed something. I'm looking at my stream trying to figure out why is my head kind of like permanently broken to the side, sort of. And it's interesting. I might have to try and fix that here in a second. Yeah, I keep getting slightly mixed results with how my tracking is working. Like, the tracking quality is good, but for some reason the actual, what do you call it? Like, I don't know. The offset is a little weird. What it really is, it looks like for some reason the body needs to be angled away a little bit, but the head gets adjusted to face the camera. And that's not actually what we wanted to do. So I'm not sure how exactly to fix that. And what's even more challenging is that it doesn't do it all the time. I had Mrs. Hammerlane in here sitting, trying to gauge whether it was twisted or not. And it was behaving when she was sitting here. But now that I'm sitting here, it's not behaving. I wonder if there's a setting I can, hold on. I gotta take my headset off for a second. don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. I'll have to fucking figure something out there. Oh, huh. Oh, wow, okay, so that's like a 10-second delay. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to see what the motion's like now. That's a little better. Maybe. I don't know. This VTubing thing, I don't even know. I did it because I thought it would be fun to hide my identity. You know, the vampire, you really don't want to let everybody know exactly what the deal is. And is that thing spazzing out again? A little bit. Anyway, you don't really want to let people know who you are, and that's hence the VTubing. But it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain, I'll be honest. Nothing's ever really working 100% correctly, and I don't. Why is my head turning around so far? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I think I understand why it's turning like that. Okay, let me try this. See what that does. Sorry, I'm using YouTube to gauge what's happening because I can't actually see my streaming computer from where I'm sitting. Okay, so that sets it back straight. And yeah, that's what it looks like when I'm looking at YouTube on my right display. And let's see how this looks. This is when I'm looking at the GPS and chat. I gotta wait 10 seconds for YouTube to show me what that looks like. I mean, yeah, okay. Fine, whatever.
Dear guests, I hope you're enjoying the flight. I'll be starting the snack and beverage service shortly, featuring some of our popular items like gourmet cheese and charcuterie, as well as refreshing beverages. After the service, I'll have some delightful selections from our shop available for you. Thank you for flying with us.
That was Emma. Now that we've reached cruise altitude, she is letting us know that she will have drinks and stuff. That's cool. Very nice of her. Thank you, Emma. Let's see. Now that we're at cruise altitude, we can shut off the passenger safety. Meaning people are allowed to get out of their seats, start filming adult entertainment, you know, whatever it is they're doing on the flight today. who knows exactly. But what did our speed end up being? 540. Very cool. I called it. I think that's exactly what I said it would be. That does basically make us the fastest thing in the sky. As you can see, we're coming up on this southwest flight. Then again, he's climbing, so can't really hold that to him. You know, it's not his fault. Notification on X? What's that? Oh. Just gotta argue with people on Twitter. You'll have to excuse me. So, oops, wrong button. Once you are up in the air, this is pretty much like excuse me. I forget what the hell I was just saying. Oh, once you're like up in the air and established and on your flight route, this is it, man. This is why you need a good co-pilot. Oh. Well. Where the hell is my co-pilot? Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact Albuquerque Center on 126.225.
Albuquerque Center on 126.225, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Alright, so there we do change the radio station, and we call them Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Albuquerque Center. We are with you, flight level 450.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Albuquerque Center. Good afternoon.
Uh-oh. Thought we were dying there for a second. Maybe I should get head tracking working. You know, I'm not sure. It's crazy. The tracking quality of this new digital camera is much higher, but its field of view is like way thinner. I think that's one of the nice benefits of webcams, is that they have that ultra wide field of view. Damn. I'm gonna have to look into a 4K webcam, aren't I? Son of a bitch. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna pause that, because honestly, frankly, I don't care over there at this point.
Hey, Captain Jack, would you and the first officer like anything to drink or a small snack?
You guys want anything to drink? Yeah, could you bring me something to drink and a you know what I like to drink?
Captain. I'll bring your drink to you now.
Sorry, talking shit on X while asking Emma for a drink.
Albuquerque Center, United 2152, flight level 330.
United 2152, radar contact.
Alright. I'm going to mute my mic for a second and have a quick cigarette. And, oh, god damn it. Wrong button again. Very good. Smooth motion. Smooth motion. Hang tight. Oh, can I do that? I'm sure that's not going to go well. Throwing options that are surely going to break the hell out of things, but we'll see. Okay, so FPS might tank a little bit here in a few minutes. We'll see. I turned on a setting to add even more traffic, as in other planes, and more radio messages, so we'll see if that holds and works in a minute. Takes a few minutes for it to activate. And I'm going to go grab that cigarette and put you guys in third person mode, so you can enjoy the scenery a little bit while I'm smoking.
Captain, here's your drink. I hope you enjoy it.
Center, mid-flight 6996 Alpha. Request flight follow from Bisbee Hospital to St. Joseph Hospital in Phoenix.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Maintain VFR at or below 5,500, departure 126.25 and squat 4426. Mid-flight 6996 Alpha.
6355, flight level 280. Skywest 6355, radar contact.
Right, I'm back. Hello. It's so nice to see you again. Feels like it's been forever. Let me see. Okay, that looks like it's still mostly working. Seems we're still over Endless Desert and Ciudad Juarez. Gosh, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know. Oh, I just realized my little channel icon thing on YouTube is still the old design for Mrs. Hammer Lane's VTuber character. I was 100% going for sex appeal by choosing her VTuber icon as my little channel video icon thing in the lower right hand corner. Yeah, well, I'll have to update that at some point. I thought about changing my VTuber model again here soon.
Center 9331, heavy with you. Center
With you.
Delta 9331, heavy checking in with you.
Nice. Yeah, you know what? The extra, oh my god. The extra, the additional traffic is 100% not worth it. So, let's toast that shit real quick. Yoink. Goodbye. Of course, it'll take a second for that to take effect. Very cool. Okay. Oh, Europores, always having smart shit to say on Twitter and never being correct about it. My entire timeline has become about male VTubers. Very good. The general consensus, I guess, being that male VTubers are useless, and VTubing is pretty much exclusively for female models. No, I see our winds are not as favorable. Only 55 knots east. So we're only doing about 535 knots over the ground.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Albuquerque Center on 120.975.
Contacting Albuquerque Center on 120.975. Citation 208 Romeo Alpha.
That's right, that's my co-pilot, Janet. She sits in the passenger seat here, she's visible.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Good afternoon. With you, flight level 450.
And she can run the radios for us, which is what she's doing now.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Albuquerque Center. Good afternoon.
So at that point, the game basically plays itself. You know, autopilot is set. Janet can handle the radios for me, and I can chit chat with you guys and browse Twitter. If you don't follow Bad Billy Pratt on Twitter, you really should. This dude is always posting the absolute most insane shit I've ever heard. From marriage advice. Husband essentially checked out of marriage and lives in a shed in the backyard. Where do I go from here? He does most of the parenting, plenty of chores, and works. He only comes inside the house to work and shower or do chores. He cooks on a fire outside, and he sleeps on a bed in his shed, in which he also keeps most of his possessions there, such as food, tools, books, and basic furniture. I love him, and we recently bought the house, so we can't even sell before about 5 years without losing equity and getting into debt. He's not abusive, and I can tolerate the relationship, and it's better than being single. Like I said, he does most of the child care and plenty of chores, but I am concerned. Yeah. Sorry, talking shit on Twitter. I'm not actually talking shit. Actually, I'm responding to some guy called Mr. Preisel. We're discussing whether or not people's anime preferences, in terms of like women or men, for that matter, are consistent with their real life preferences for male, or for, whatever they're into. And I think they are. Like, I like thick women with big hips, big booties, and large chest, and red hair, and green eyes, and fair skin. And I also like that in anime characters, or CG or whatever. And I think that's true for most, if not everyone. I hate when you invoke Grok deep in comments and he doesn't show up and he leaves you hanging. Dick. I want to go to a Tesla diner, but there's none anywhere near here. Oh, that's an interesting bubble chart. Oh, let's see. Accounts with the most engagement so far in 2026. Elon Musk, Nick Sorter, Gunther Eagleman, Eric Daughtry, Jackson Hinkle, James Woods, interesting, Defiant Elves, Jackhammer Lane. No, I wish. It looks like the biggest left-leaning account on Twitter is Brian Allen, and I've never heard of him. Harry Sisson's hanging on over there. Very cool. Very cool.
Center American 1701, request IFR clearance to Bob Hope.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Genuinely struggling to conceptualize the type of person who would be so angry at Al Capone in 2026 that they would vandalize a headstone. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Very fun. Who vandalizes Al Capone's headstone? Oh look, another spammer. Flexible path to HD. Best viewers. Free 25 viewers. Well, thank you. I don't think I will. I don't view bot, and I never will. I don't really understand it. Like, obviously I'm capable of talking to no one. Why do I need to talk to no one, but with a bigger number? still just nothing but desert, to be honest. It'll be like this all through West Texas. You know, I keep thinking about trying this open claw thing, but it didn't work well under WSL, and I'm not buying a Mac Mini just for that. And so, I'm kind of waiting and hoping somebody ports it to Windows. Jesus. Oh my god, I'm reading something on X I could not even repeat on stream. Oh no. That's horrific. I'm telling you, go follow Bad Billy Pratt. Oh no. Oh, I'm dying. He's hilarious. The hero we need, you might say. What the Sorry, I'm getting distracted by browsing Twitter. Like I said, man, that's how most of these flights go. Oh look, we're actually starting to see little neighborhoods and stuff now. That's cute. Or at least those like pre-planned developments that never really materialize into a real thing. Very cool.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact Albuquerque Center on 132.2.
Contacting Albuquerque Center on 132.2.
Thank you,
Citation
Janet.
208 Romeo Alpha. Albuquerque Center, citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Good evening at flight level 450.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Albuquerque Center, good evening.
Reading about somebody switching to GPT. It is OpenClaw, and it's one of those where it thinks it's calling tools, but it's not actually able to call them. Very good. Very funny. I don't know. I feel like harnesses, if I'm understanding the definition of the word and how it's used correctly, I think harnesses really need to be very specifically created for the models that are being used. Like Grok, when it's running in Expert 4.2 mode, Grok with multiple agents works very well. But maybe I'm misunderstanding exactly what is meant by a harness like OpenClaw. Excuse me. So I was trying to figure out why things are being so quiet on the ATC. Train's getting a little more interesting. Here near Grand Falls, Texas. More than halfway through our trip. We are 29 minutes from descent.
Stripe 751, descend and maintain flight level 250, cleared for the dry to arrival into Dallas Love.
Descending to flight level 250. Cleared for the dry to arrival into Dallas Love, Big Stripe 751.
Rankin, Texas, making our way.
Citation 8, Romeo Alpha, contact Houston Center on 125.75.
Contacting Houston Center on 125.75. Citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Houston Center, citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Good evening. Maintaining flight level 450.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Houston Center, good evening.
Alright, I think I'm going to grab another cigarette real quick before we get into range of starting our descent, because I'll need to take the radios back over from Janet. She's lovely, but she's not very bright, and she can't fly the aircraft. So, I'll have a cigarette, I'll be right back, and I'll take the radios back.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Expect the Sunday 1 arrival, JJO transition. In about 20 minutes, I'll start your descent.
Expect the Sunday 1 arrival, JJO transition. Citation 208 Romeo Alpha.
I see we got our arrival while I was gone. Sunday 1, JJO transition. So let's double check that that's what's plugged in here. JJO, Sunday 1, runway 4. Cool. Just out of curiosity, I wonder what... Yeah, okay, cool. Even better. Oh, suffering. 20 minutes until we start descending. So what we can do is let's check here. Yeah, okay, so that's all set for descent. Very good. Man, my frame rate is suffering every few seconds. We will set, okay, VNAV is already set, so we will change the altitude down to something ridiculous. As you can see, we now have the VPath is lit, which tells us that the plane will, for the most part, descend itself when the time is appropriate. The time is appropriate when we cross that TOD marker. So we can zoom in 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, so we can keep an eye on it. Can you see that? No, you can't actually see that. So we can... Wow, I wonder why my frame rate's dying so bad every few seconds. Flight Simulator is a mysterious beast. What can I say? Very, very mysterious.
1071, contact Houston Center on 134.905.
Houston Center 134.9.
We're heading into greener territory, huh? Look, there's like trees and stuff now. Very cool, right? Means we're getting out of West Texas. Sorry, I get so distracted looking at X. Because, generally speaking, flying is kind of boring once you're up in the air. At least on the jet flights. It's a little more entertaining when you're in, like, the Caravan, or, a turboprop or a piston. I'll have to do more of those flights. Less of the Cessna. Less of the Citation. Everything I fly are Cessnas, with the exception of the Piper and the Daher. Fly the Daher TBM. About 12 minutes until we start descent. Flat Earthers on X. Oh no. I wish they weren't real people. They kind of aren't. They're certainly not serious people. There's a lot of people on X that think the Earth is flat, and that the Artemis 2 mission isn't real. I think that's adorable. Very adorable.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Houston Center on 134.2.
Houston Center on 134.2, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha.
Hey, Captain Jack, would you and the first officer like anything to drink or a small snack?
Yeah, give me another bourbon before we start descending.
Understood, Captain. I'll bring you another bourbon now.
Houston Center, this is Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. We are with you at 450.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Houston Center, good evening.
Houston Center, Delta 2260 at flight level 350, descending via Lakes for arrival.
Delta 2260, Houston Center, good evening.
Honda Jet 6 Tango Charlie, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Down 7,000 feet, maintain current heading, vectors will be RNAV 14, Nickel SB, 6 Tango Charlie. Down 6,000, 6 Tango Charlie. Houston Center, good day, Honda Jet
here is your
Center, 6
bourbon.
Tango Charlie
I hope
on
it
the
adds to
ground,
your enjoyment of the
Gillespie,
flight.
looking to pick up our IFR to Lake Charles.
Thank you, Emma. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Captain. I'm here to assist you.
Alright, that chime is letting us know that descent is approaching in the next minute. So we're actually going to call Houston here in a minute and ask to start our descent. System 208 Romeo Alpha to Houston Center. Can we start our descent now, please?
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha cleared Sunday 1 J-Joe transition into Hobby. At your discretion, descend and maintain flight level 370.
Copy 370, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha.
Folks, we have left our cruising altitude and are starting our approach to William P. Hobby Airport. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, descend and maintain flight level 310.
Copy 310, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Excuse me. through some clouds real quick. Generally speaking, flying through clouds is very bad. You don't want to do it unless you are flying IFR with like ATC, because they know what's safe, whether you're going to hit another plane. If you're just flying without ATC's assistance, you must not fly into clouds. Right, we are like 40 miles north of San Antonio, off of our right wing. Fortunately, the clouds say that we can't really see it. Frame rate's pretty hurt too. It's unfortunate. I wonder why. Like more than usual. I wonder what that's about. Anyway, I forgot to turn on the bat when we started descending. That's my bad. I hope he gives me a lower altitude here soon. We're passing 350. Would really like to get a lower altitude. Come on, buddy.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, descend and maintain 9,000 feet, altimeter 3019er.
Descend and maintain 9,000, altimeter 3019er, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Just like when we were going up, we flipped standard barometer on past 18,000 feet. We'll do the same thing on the way down. That's why he read us a barometer, because the altitude he gave us crossed the standard barometer. We're about 27 minutes until we touch down in Houston. Well, just outside Houston, to be honest. We'll be in the suburbs. I didn't really want to deal with the international airport, so we're going to a regional. I love the area in between these cloud shelves. Very beautiful. It's like a magical space where only we exist. Alright, 28,000 feet. So we have 10,000 feet until we switch over to standard barometer. 18,000 feet. Well, yeah, 18,000 feet until we switch on our landing lights. 10,000 feet is the magic line for the landing lights coming on and the additional passenger safety. now we're at 27,500. We are just below what passenger jets are generally traveling at. You'll find those from like 28,000 to 35,000, 37,000 sometimes. So we're under the passenger jet level. We are now in the area where you'll find high-end turboprops, like the Dyer TBM series, 930, 960, 980. 980 is brand new. The literal first ones have just started coming out. But the Piper M500, you'll find those things around this altitude from 30,000 feet down to really whatever altitude. They're pressurized cabins, so they can fly whatever altitude you need them to. But their comfortable cruise is up to 30,000 feet, so that's what their hull pressurization can handle. Any higher than that and you'll start to have problems. Bad problems, death problems, no oxygen problems. Really, honestly, for the most part, the next barrier, or level, so to speak, it must have been those clouds that was giving me some FPS problems. They looked nice, but they were killing me. The next level, really, is about 10,000 feet, because that is where unpressurized planes will tend to tap out. Too much higher than that and you can't breathe. 12,000 feet is essentially no more oxygen if you are not pressurized. So old models, I think very old models of the Cessna 208 are not pressurized. The new ones are. Well, I should say most of them are. But like the Cessna 172 is not pressurized. So going much higher than 10,000 feet will kill you. Of course, pressurization means that when you're on the ground, if you were by any chance tuned in, when you're on the ground, it captures the air that's in the cabin and seals it at ground pressure. And then as you go up and up, it kind of eases off the pressure a little bit to let you go up in altitude so that it doesn't have to like keep the seals so tight. Something about how that works. But as you can see, our cabin altitude is 2,900 feet. You know, as if we were flying on a small plane. But our physical altitude is 19,500. Oh, gonna fly through some weather here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Past the standard barometer. So I turned on our weather radar. It's good to kill your frame rate a little bit, but as we are landing around this storm system, I'd like to know if we're about to fly into some action. Wow, they haven't given us our approach yet, which is surprising. I mean, I expected any literal second.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Houston Center on 134.8.
Okay. Houston Center 134.8, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Houston Center, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha, with you descending through 15.5 on Sunday 1 arrival, JJO transition into Hobby.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Houston Center, good evening Hobby, altimeter 3019er.
Alright, so, lad, I'm not panicking exactly, but we're 35 miles away. I'm panicking a little bit.
Contact Houston approach on 124.35.
Contact 124.35, Frank 55.
I'm panicking a little bit that I still haven't gotten an approach.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha.
There we go.
This will get you there sooner. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Turn right heading 145 vectors for the ILS runway. 4 approach.
Descend and maintain 7,000, turn right heading 145 vectors for ILS runway 4. Alright, so we got to ... and then turn right 145. And then we need to real quick go down to ILS 4 vectors. Set minimums are going to be 44 feet here, and this thing has a lower mounted radar, so we can actually do that. And we're going to remove the manual sequence point.
You're welcome.
Come out in 15 minutes. Houston approach on 134.3. Houston approach, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha, with you descending 12,200 feet for ILS 4.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Houston approach, good evening Hobby, altimeter 3019er.
I'm not really sure if he flew us into the shit a little more, or what. Oh, I just realized once I took us off of the nav path, it shut down VPath. So I need to, real quick, start descending. Whoopsie daisy. Whoops. Wrong button. Turn our landing lights on for going through the fog and things. And since we're on vector, since we're being vectored, we can just turn on the localizer now. Oh, there's the rain. I kind of figured we were going to hit that.
Folks, we are beginning our final approach into Houston. Please turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your seats are in the full upright position. Our assigned gate is Atlantic Aviation Ramp Stand 5. Current weather in Houston is 15 degrees Celsius with rain. Thank you for flying with us.
Alright, so when we hit 7,000 feet here in a second, we'll call in and let them know that we're at 7,000 and we're heading for the localizer on 4. Just to kind of jog their memory. That chime means we're 1,000 feet from our from our altitude that we're heading to. See, I'm going to switch us off of flight plan speed and move us down to
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, turn left heading 115.
Left heading 115, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. rain. More rain. So vectoring, what's happening here is, it doesn't really seem to be any cause, but if I'm a particularly slower or faster moving aircraft, they may vector me off, which means instead of following the exact path that we had planned, they may tell me a direction to head and kind of bring me to where I need to be while avoiding other aircraft or whatever else might be going on. Or maybe sometimes they just have a lot of aircraft coming in and they need you to take a wider route to give them a little time to space things out a little more. But that's what's happening now. If you look at our map, there doesn't actually seem to be anything. Although when Houston Center originally called us, they said, here, this will get you there quicker. And maybe it did. I don't know. If we look at our map, it looks like maybe it was a little faster. We'll see. But we're maintaining 7,000.
Citation 8, Romeo Alpha, turn right heading 140.
Right heading 140, citation 8, Romeo Alpha. What are we planning here?
Theory 33, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Flight level
Everybody's doing.
For Theory 33.
I wonder if they're not skirting me around the bad weather. I should really install that mod that allows you to use this secondary screen. It enables this button right here, CPL. It allows you to change what's on this screen, I believe. I'm really hoping to hear turn left heading any second now. More rain. It's a shame. This plane has a heads-up display in real life, but it doesn't work in the simulator. God damn, Houston. Are we gonna get me towards William P. Hobby or what? I feel like I'm going way far out of the way for no reason.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, turn left heading 115.
Left heading 115, citation 8 Romeo Alpha. They're cooking up something crazy. I don't like how we'll see. I don't like how approach usually works in say intentions, which is the ATC service we're using. Isn't it beautiful? Come out of the clouds to see the southern Houston suburbs come out in front of you. Come on, ATC, give me a turn left heading, I don't know, like 70. Excuse me. I am so sorry. Yeah, you know what I need to do? Is take some screenshots for the Twitter quote.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000, citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Houston approach, citation 8 Romeo Alpha. We are vectoring towards 4 right at William Hobby for the ILS there, right?
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, proceed direct Elrin, descend and maintain 2,000 feet until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 4 approach. Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, roger. Continue vectors for ILS runway 4 approach at Hobby.
Jesus fucking Christ. What absolute chicanery does it have me doing here? Oh no, I'll tell you what we're not doing, is that. No chance in hell. So here's what we're gonna do. It's doing something absolutely bonkers. We're going to do our own thing a little bit here. Oh no. You know what okay, hang on. Shit. We're having a problem. The ILS for 4 is wrong. That's the wrong frequency. Oh, that's... Okay. Problematic, but not the end of the world. Oh, fuck. Okay. It is the right... Okay. Sorry. Wow, okay, dickhead. Very fine. Very fine. Okay, I see what happened here. I desperately need this to wrangle in. We fucked up. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. ATC was right. I was being a dick. I fucked up bad. It's okay. We're not gonna die or anything, but this is a pain in the ass. I'm sure you can tell what I've done. I had the wrong runway in mind, and when I wasn't lining up to that one, I started to get a little suspicious. And it turns out, ATC knew what it was saying all along. Excuse me. Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Hobby Tower on 118.7. Hobby Tower on 118.7 system, citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Hobby Tower, citation 208 Romeo Alpha. We are with you at 3,000 feet inbound ILS for 4.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Hobby Tower, roger. Winds 350 at 15 gusting 22. Runway 4, cleared to land.
Okay, this could get interesting. Chasing the glide slope here, doing a poor job of it. Yeah, I know. Relax. What a disaster.
Runway 13 left.
Hold short of 13 left, southwest 1773.
Man, something went wrong here with the autopilot pretty severely. Yeah, okay, total disaster. That's fine. Alright, we're not going to get all the way into parking. You may or may not have heard Miss Carolina Lane called me for dinner some time ago. So we're going to go do that. Oh god, I pulled onto a runway. I'm so sorry. Alright, it's been real. We have to cut this short. This was a disaster. Especially the landing. I'm sorry, but it was fun, nonetheless. Had a good time. We'll talk to you next time.
Exit at Charlie if able. Contact ground